Hey friends, it's Kara with Kinsley's Creative Palette. I am hiding out in my bedroom tonight, getting ready to reveal our DIY home decor box project for the month. So I know we had Halloween. We just finished that yesterday. And I know there are a lot of you who are going to jump straight into Christmas. And I anticipated that before I curated this box. And so I wanted to give you something that you could work on by yourself, you could work on with your kids, with your grandkids. I wanted to give you a box that you could use. You could pull this decoration out every single year and use it with your family. So this is what we are creating tonight. Now, this is the one that we are going to craft together. Can you see? We're going to create a vintage Advent tree. So each, in the box, you get a blank tree that already has pre-drilled holes. You get two bases, which these bases stack. I'm going to kind of just take this apart and show you. I glued my two bases together, but so that you can store it with all of your Christmas decor, you can leave it so that it comes apart and then just pop it back together when you're ready to use it. And what I love about it is you put one ornament on every day from December 1st to December 24th until Christmas Day. So basically you're counting down from December 1st to the 24th so that when you wake up Christmas morning, your tree is decorated. And this box, I decided to make it super easy for all ages to get involved. And you actually got a fresh set of Crayola markers. So I actually colored my ornaments right with my markers. It's super easy to do. The hardest part about this project is going to be putting our little hooks on, if you can see, but there's little bitty hooks that you'll have to put on just once. You just have to put those on once and then your tree is done. But I want to show y'all an alternative tree. I know some of my friends like to craft with glitter and some don't. And I did not want to send a craft that half of the population was going to say, oh my gosh, I just seriously, Kara, why did you get fairy dust all over my house? But I want to show you how pretty this is if you do decide to go with glitter. Now, I used extra fine glitter on this one, you see, and I just did the star and the ornaments, okay? So if you decide that you want to use glitter, this is, just kind of some inspiration to the glitter tree. But either way, it's going to turn out super cute. So let's get started. No matter what tree you decide to paint, I did want to show you too the difference. I did not sand this one. This one is just painted brown and green. The base is just painted brown. The tree is painted green. No sanding. This one I painted and then I sanded it to kind of distress it. Hello, Miss Karen. All right, so you have options. Your tree doesn't have to look like mine. It can if you want it to, but it doesn't have to. So let me show you what came in the box this month. You got a, what do you call these? I want to say a stipple brush, but I don't feel like that's right. Anyway, you got a paintbrush. You got, not scissors, sorry. You got glue. You got a bag, and your bag may look like this or it may be silver, but you got a bag of hooks. You got your two base pieces, which you will glue together and then paint. We'll do that in just a minute. You got your actual tree. You got a bag of ornaments, and your star. And you got a piece of sandpaper, which I keep these sanding blocks and they wear out. And so a lot of times if I'm in a pinch, I will just wrap this right around. So it's almost like having a new sanding block. You also got a toothpick. I'll show you what to do with that in a few. You got some paint, some green and then you got a little brown and a couple little whites. So we're just going to kind of get started. I'm going to show you how to craft this tree, but just know that you can use glue and glitter and skip the sanding if you want your tree to look like this. Okay. And what I loved about these marker sets is it actually came with some bonus markers. Oh, and you got a fresh set of markers. But it came with some bonus markers that were, let me show you. It's supposed to be yellow. Let me see. Yeah, I guess they gave you kind of a neon yellow and a neon green. So it was really fun. Hello, Melissa Barker. Thank you so much for sprinkling, everybody. Okay, so my green, I grabbed an empty paint container. So I'm going to just use some of the green and squirt it right out here on my palette. And I did grab a few extra things. I have some water so that I could rinse my brush and a towel. Hello, Miss Wendy. No, Laura, there's not glitter in the set. That wasn't just a different option. This is the one that we're making, and we're doing that with Crayola markers. But I did want to show you how to do I wanted to show you the option with the glitter if you're a glitter girl. Okay, so I'm gonna put some green down here. And then let me show you right here. I did grab some pliers. They will help you hold these little bitty pieces if you're like me and you shake, but they are not, they're not 100% necessary. You can do it without. Laura, I love glitter too, but I will tell you that when I had the paint studio in Ohio, I had some ladies come in, and I mean, if I even got near them with glitter, they were like cursing me. So I don't do glitter as an everyday, project, but I do like to show it as options. So you do have that option. All right, so I'm just going to start painting. Let me see. Move this way. There we go. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to start painting my tree. I'm just going to quickly paint my Christmas tree. Y'all have to let me know. Are y'all ready to get into the Christmas spirit, or are you going to wait until after Thanksgiving? You'll have to let me know. Now, I do have my blow dryer sitting here so that I can blow dry, so that I can sand while we're on live tonight. So I gotta tell you what happened today. So I was supposed to, we moved, and I've been in the process of working on getting the new studio built. Well, today was the day that they were supposed to start construction on the building. So it's 6:15 this morning. My husband comes in, and I'm usually awake, but lately I have been not falling asleep until later and sleeping later. So I was still asleep, and he comes in and he goes, "Honey, somebody's here." So I jump out of bed, throw some clothes on, and I go, "Look, it's the building people." 6:15 this morning. So I walk out there, we're talking, and he, he's asking me questions. And he looks at me and he says, "What time is the forklift going to be here?" And I went, "I'm sorry, what?" And he said, "What time is the forklift going to be delivered?" I'm going to blow dry, and I'm going to tell y'all the rest of my story. Karen, I don't understand that. Karen, I don't know what Last Christmas from Wham is. All right, I'm going to get a little bit more paint and do another quick coat. So anyway, he asked me when it was going to be delivered. And I said, sir, that was a line item on my invoice. That was something that y'all were supposed to order. And he goes, oh, okay. Let me call the ladies in the office. And she says it's, oh, I've not heard that. I'll have to check it out. And he says, I'll have to call the ladies in the office. Well, mind you, it's still, at this point, it's like 7. He calls them. They forgot to order the forklift. Now, we're in Alabama. This company drove all night long, these 3 guys, from North Carolina with this trailer containing all of the parts to put up this building. No forklifts coming. They can't even get the material off the truck. So he a few minutes later he comes to the door and he says, ma'am, we're headed back to North Carolina. I said, I'm sorry, I just wired money to y'all's account. What do you mean you're going back to North Carolina? And he said, well, we're leaving the trailer here, but we can't do it without the forklift, and they forgot to order it. So now I have a deconstructed building sitting over in the parking lot that, I don't know, maybe will go up next week. I'm not sure. But it was kind of funny. After I got past the shock of and disappointment of, oh man, I thought I was getting a building this week. But all in God's time, it'll happen. Okay, so I've got this second coat on. I'm going to use this same brush, and I'm going to use this brown. Open this up. And I'm just going to pour mine out onto, you can't see this, but I have a plate. So I'm just going to pour some brown onto this plate. Move that over there so you can see. But, so yeah, I didn't get a building today. Super bummed, but it is what it is. I'm going to go ahead and open my glue and glue these 2 bases together, and then I'll paint. So let me puncture this. Gotta take the red parts off and puncture it. And then screw it back on. Let's see. Line that back up. All right. And then unscrew that part, and we are ready to go. Okay. So I'm going to put my glue right here on this bottom piece. Now you don't want to put glue in that hole in the middle, because that's where your Christmas tree is going to sit down into. Let's see. I'm going to, before I let this sit all the way, I'm going to make sure that I got the hole right. Yep. We're good. Okay. So just make sure that you don't close that hole up. All right. So now my base is now a double base. Hello, Miss Kara. How are you tonight? I'm up late tonight. It was a crazy day. There were dance tryouts that my daughter wasn't going to do, and they were tonight, and then at the last minute she decided she wanted to do them, and so I had to kind of reschedule my live for tonight. I appreciate y'all's patience. All right, so I've just got green on my tree, and now I'm just going to brush some brown on. And you don't have to, if you want it to have kind of that vintage look, you don't have to brush brown on the whole thing. You could just kind of dry brush it, however you want to do it. And I've got, like I said, I did have a little bit of green left in my brush, and that's okay. Didn't even wash it out. Okay. You can paint the bottom if you want to. I'm only going to paint the top and the sides. I'll set this down so I can finish painting. Okay, now I'm going to quickly blow dry. I'm going to throw this in the water just in case I need it later. Oh, I put my water bucket too far away. Sorry about that. All right. Okay, we're gonna let that dry, and I just remembered what else we needed to do with our brush. So I'm gonna get my brush, I'm gonna clean it, just push down in the water, get the paint off of it, dry it. All right, and I'm gonna set these pieces that I've already painted, I'm gonna set them off to the side because I wanna use this space down here to quick dry brush with white. You're not going to need a lot of paint. We're just dry brushing. And you, in your box, you got your tree was taped together with painter's tape. Now, what you're going to want to do with that painter's tape is you're going to want to turn it and tuck your ends under. Let me grab, I had a whole roll in here. Give me just a second. Oh, let's see if I can find it. I had a whole roll. I don't know where I put it. Okay, I'm going to have to do it the hard way. But you're going to actually turn those ends under and tack down all of your ornaments. If you want to do them this way, if you're not doing the glitter. So I liked, if you look really closely, let me find one to show you. If you look really close at the ornaments, they almost look like they have a watercolor effect. And the way that we achieved that was by using a couple different things. I did a whitewash coat on my ornaments before I painted them. And I actually dipped the tip of my marker to get it extra juicy. I dipped it in clear water, so just clean, clear water in order to get it extra juicy. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put a coat of white on this because we're gonna sand this one at the same time that we do our tree. So I'm gonna go ahead and just stick my brush in here and get most of the paint off, and then I'm just kind of dry brushing. Now, let me show you what that's going to look like. It's not a real heavy coat, okay? It's not a heavy coat. We're just going to do that, and I'm going to go ahead and do that with my ornaments as well. And you can kind of line them up and do several at a time, especially if you use your tape. If you don't want to, you want to do them one at a time, that's perfectly fine too. But you don't want a lot of paint, okay? Not a lot of paint. Now, for the etched ones, you don't want to cover your lines up so much that you can't color in the lines. So, for example, this one, you can still see the lines so that we can use our markers and color those. So, just going to quickly brush all of these. And then I'm going to let those be drying while I am sanding our tree. Now, if you are getting your kiddos to help you with this, or you want to really take your time and be detailed on your ornaments, my suggestion is grab your markers and sit in front of the Christmas tree. Sit in front of the TV, and during commercial breaks or whatever, y'all each grab an ornament and color it. And it doesn't have to all be done at once. You could even make this a project where, you know, you're going to spend, you could each color one every day up until Christmas, however you want to do it. But I picked this project because the Advent tree is my kids' very favorite Christmas tradition. That and pigs in a blanket on Christmas morning. I mean, does it get any better than pigs in a blanket on Christmas morning? All right, and I did include taped to the top of your box when you opened it up. There were a couple extra ornaments, and you did have a couple extra of the little, what do you call them? Hooks. I think I gave everybody an extra hook and an extra hook and eyelet. I guess that's what it's called. I think I have way more in this bag than 24. I kind of ended up with whatever was left. So I'm going to stop with those and put this in the water because I'm not going to color all 24 of mine since I already have 2 trees that I've colored them all. But that is how you're going to do that. You're just going to do a quick whitewash coat on those. I'm going to rinse my hand off real quick so that I don't have sticky hands for the rest of the video. So just water, just using my paint water, getting that off. Okay, so now I'm ready to sand my tree, but before I do that, I want to go ahead and color my star. And you'll notice that I said I sent white, brown, and green paint. I didn't send any yellow because I'm actually using the marker from our collection. Make sure your paint, your white paint is dry. I'm going to hit it with the blow dryer, but I'm going to actually color it yellow. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just get my star, get my yellow marker. If for some reason your marker is not juicy enough, just dip the tip of it into some water, some fresh, clean water, and it will bring it right back to life. So I'm just gonna put something on there. So I'm just coloring this. It's just that easy. Okay, so I've got my star colored. Let that dry while we are sanding our tree, and then I'll show you how I sanded this to get this, this vintage effect on here. All right, set that back down. Okay. Now, what you don't want to do, you want to grab your box at this point and sand over your box. You don't want to sand over the top of your ornaments because you're going to end up getting that paint dust all over them. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to kind of grab this and I'm going to go all over. There's no rhyme or reason, just all over. I'm hitting some places more than others. Okay, so you can see that first coat. You can't tell a lot of distressing. You can start seeing it right around the corners or the edges. Okay, so you can keep going and keep distressing. So I just want to show you, sand it off, show you what that looks like. Can you see that? We just sand it as much or as little as you want to. I'm going to do a little bit more. I like the way there's some places where it took the paint off and we can see the raw wood in the middle. I'm going to sand until I get a few more of those spots. Okay, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to see. But now we have a super smooth vintage finish on our tree. You can see all our edges are done. All right, so I am going to sweep that off to the side. I'm not going to do my base because you can see I did not super coat my base. You see right here how our tree is just going to sit right down in our base. So that's going to be what makes the base of our tree. And I'm going to show you how to use your toothpick and how to use your little hardware. All right, don't want to lose these. Very important. What you're going to do, pour them into a contained area. And if you're like me and you have a trimmer, you shake when you're trying to do something like this, it may be easier for you to use some needle nose pliers and grip. And what you're going to do is you're going to find the little holes that are pre-drilled on your board. And you're going to just, oh, sorry. Let me get a better grip of that. You're just going to push down and start turning, which actually I think I would be better off with my finger. There we go. So just push down gently and start turning. And you'll, as soon as you get that started in that little hole, you got to get it in like 3 or 4 turns. Okay? Once you get it started, what you're going to do is you're going to take your toothpick, you're going to put it right through that hole, and you're just going to twist and just let the toothpick do the work. Now, the one thing you want to remember is so that all of your ornaments will hang the right way, you want this hook to run this direction. Okay, so when you hook, you'll hook right in the top and it'll hang down. Okay, can y'all see that? So I'm just gonna sit here and do a couple more and show y'all. I'm gonna just use my fingers to get these started. Okay, just get it started. Stick your toothpick in there and then just spin it around. You don't want to over tighten, but you just want to get it to where it's all the way in there. Can you see that? All right, so you're going to do that for all of your little hooks, okay? So just sit in front of the TV, screw your little hooks in, get them started, and then use your toothpick and tighten them. The toothpick makes it way easier once you get it started. All right, you see that? Okay, so I'm going to show you after this step. The next thing you're going to do is you are going to color your ornaments. I forgot to sand my star. Let me do that real quick. I'm going to do it right over here. But I'm just getting these edges. And I'm kind of streaking the middle of it. And you can see it just becomes a little vintage star. This you will want to glue onto the top of your tree. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that so that my glue can be drying. Now for this, I'm actually going to put the glue on the tree. And then I'm going to set my star where I want it. And just hold it there for about, I don't know, 10 seconds or so. Just let it sit. And put my top back on my glue. And then all we have to do now is color all of our ornaments. So we've got all these fun markers. You could do, a certain theme if you just wanted to do like primary colors. I loved the purples and the pinks. And then I colored all of my hooks gray. You could color yours this orange color. You could color them brown, whatever color you wanted. But what I did was I took and I went ahead and I colored right on the top all of the little hooks. I'm going to flip this over and paint right here. All the little hooks. I colored this gray color. So that's kind of how I got started. And you can see they're all etched. So right at the top, there's little marks where the ornament hook would be. So it's really easy to color, right? Just that little top part. So that's what we're gonna do now. I think I'm gonna do a pink and yellow. So I'm just gonna grab my pink and I'm gonna color right in these lines. And like I said, if your marker does not seem juicy enough, just put it just the very tip in a little bit of water and you can make it extra juicy. You don't want it to be so juicy though that you can't stay in the lines when you're coloring. And I will tell y'all, I did like leaving some of the areas of my ornaments white. I feel like they pop really nice against the green tree. So you don't have to color all of it. Like you could leave this one, like for example, you could leave this one so that it's white with pink dots. Okay, so I'm colored that one. I'm going to show you the next step. You're going to grab the little S hook. Okay, you'll see that little S hook. There's a big part or like a wider bottom and a skinnier top. That's exactly how you want to put it on your ornament. You want to go from the back to the front. with the wider bottom as the actual bottom. And you're just going to go into that hole and gently, very gently, you're going to turn that little S. Hold your ornament so that you don't break it. You're just going to turn it. Now, I did give you extra ornaments because the way that this file laser etches, the top of it, because it does have that little cutout where the ornament hook is, that can get a little bit weak. So I gave you extra just in case when you're putting your hooks on, you break any, okay? You should have plenty. I think I only, in both trees I did, I think I broke 2 out of the 48 that I had done. So I sent everyone 2 extra. But if for some reason you end up breaking a couple extra, just message me and I will send you some replacements. All right, I'm going to color this top. And then I'm going to go ahead and color this one. I think I'm going to do green and blue. And I think I will leave one of these white. You can see this one is like, it's kind of like a little, almost like a peppermint. So I'm just going to color. The markers make it so easy. Green, white. Since I'm going to do 2 colors and leave 1 white, I'm skipping 2 spaces. So green, white, this is blue. Now this one did not have enough spaces to do 3 colors, but we're going to make it work. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to draw in an extra as I'm coloring it. So go ahead and color this green. And color this one green. And then I'm going to flip this around and I'm just going to draw one in right here. Okay. And I'm going to put my little hook on. I'll show you this one. Uh-oh, I think my washer just got off balance. Okay. See that? So that's how we're going to do all of the rest of these. I'm going to go ahead and flip this. I'm going to put my base, my Christmas tree in my base. It just pops right in there. And then I'm going to hang these ornaments that we've just done on those little hooks. Friends, it's that easy. So we will just do all of our ornaments. Just color them however you want them. And when you're done, you will end up with all of your ornaments ready to decorate your tree for Advent this year. So I think that's the whole project. You can spray it if you want to with a clear coat to keep everything good and protected. But what's great is when you're done for the season, you just take all of your little ornaments off of the tree and you pop the tree out of the base and you store it flat, just like that, until next year. So this is our project for this month's home decor box. And if you would like to join us for next month's box and get a box of your own, I've put the link in the description and we would love to have you join us. So I hope that y'all have a fabulous, fabulous night. I hope you enjoy coloring all of your ornaments. I would love to see your trees when they're finished. That makes me so happy to see all of y'all's finished trees. So I'm actually going to let my kids color the rest of these ornaments and make this other tree since I've already done 2 of them. But I hope that y'all enjoy it, and I can't wait to see your pictures. And don't forget, glitter is an option, okay? This was my glitter tree. So if you don't want to color all of your ornaments with markers, that's okay. You can glitter them. I did 3 colors of glitter and it worked really well. I just divided my ornaments in sets of 3. So like what I did was I took like all of the ones that were shaped like Christmas lights and put those to the side. All the ones that were shaped like the little gingerbread men, put those to the side. And I made it so the stacks were even. And then I just used the same color of glitter on a whole stack. And so I had 3 stacks that were almost the same number. Well, I guess they were the same number, 8 of each. So I hope that y'all enjoy this. Can't wait to see your pictures. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And I hope that y'all enjoy your project. Talk to you later. Bye, friends.